Today's show, why clients aren't paying you what you're worth. Welcome to Bullet Points, the show that takes the mystery out of what makes proposals persuasive. I'm your host, ChrisSant. Tell me if you've had this experience. The client is in real distress. It's exactly the kind of thing that you're great at. You're sure you could save them a ton of money. So you send in the proposal and silence. They've fallen off the face of the earth. Eventually, months later, you get an email from them saying, "Sorry, things have been hectic. We're looking at putting a budget together to bring you in next year." Or maybe they say, "That's little more than I was hoping to spend." Or if you deal primarily with government bidders, they end up choosing some fly-by-night company operating out of the CFO's garage because they underbid everybody else, even though you know and everybody knows they can't do the work. In all three cases, the client is shooting itself in the foot. Every single day that the client remains in distress, they are losing out. If it's a company, they're falling further behind. If it's a government, that's yet another day when they're not fulfilling their mission and they're letting their constituents down. So why do they do it? The number one reason is because most proposals are big, fat, stinking piles of uncertainty. The proposal doesn't tell them how much revenue they're going to get. Instead, it says that they may achieve significant new revenue. It could bring about potentially important cost savings. It might result in helping their agency process more records. People hate uncertainty. How much? Brand new research out of Harvard shows that when they're faced with a tough decision, people actually prefer worse but more certain outcomes, like a 95% chance of a disease, to better but less certain outcomes, like a 50% chance of a disease. Again and again, in multiple studies, they found the same thing. People are happier and they are even more relieved with a worse but more certain outcome. Now, not all uncertainty is the same. Brand new research out of Berkeley shows that when people are evaluating positives that are uncertain, like how much enjoyment they'll get from something, how much they'll benefit from something, they're actually overly optimistic. But when they're evaluating uncertain negatives, like how much they'll have to give up or how much they have to pay, they are overly pessimistic. They showed this actually in 7 different studies, but the funniest one was where they told people there's 2 potential jobs, okay? Either you can wash dishes for 20 undergrads, or you can clean a dormitory bathroom after the weekend. Naturally, people said that they would enjoy washing the dishes much more than cleaning the bathroom. But when they said you're going to show up and have a 50-50 chance of either doing the dishes or the bathroom, people said that they would enjoy that as much as washing the dishes, the exact same level. On the other hand, when they asked people how much they would have to get paid to do those jobs, people said, "Oh, for the dishes, I'd have to get paid about $20. For the bathroom, people said they would want about $100. Still seems a little low. But how much would they need to get paid when there was a 50-50 chance of either being assigned to the dishes or the bathroom? $100, exactly the same as they would need for the bathroom. It appears that when asked about potential positives like enjoyment, people stay hopeful. They think, I might get it all. But when it comes time to actually pay money or decide how much they'll give up, they assume they'll get the worst of it. All of these together are reason number one why clients don't buy even though they should. They hate uncertainty. They strongly discount how much they will pay for an uncertain benefit. But there's also reason number two, which is fascinating. People were asked how much would they pay for a $50 gift card to Whole Foods. The response, on average, not surprisingly, was about $50.
Duh.
Other people, though, were asked how much they would pay for a 50-50 chance of either a $50 gift card or a $100 gift card. This time, with that added uncertainty, the average price dropped to $38, even though they're guaranteed to get at least $50 and might even get $100. Okay, now check this out. They then asked those people, how much do you think Whole Foods is selling this for? When it was the $50 gift card, people thought Whole Foods was selling it for an average of about $48. But when it was a 50-50 chance at either a $50 or a $100 gift card, people thought Whole Foods was selling it for an average of $42. In other words, if you're not sure about the value of what you're selling, people assume that what you're selling has less value. So how to solve it? Well, first, get as specific as you can. A precise, positive number is best. Give them as much certainty as possible because people love certainty. But second, a range is fine as long as it has a lower limit. Third, when you present the cost or the pricing, you want to present it in the context of being certain that they will benefit by at least, say, 10%. This is like saying you'll get a $50 gift card. But when you discuss how much they'll actually benefit in the executive summary or in the sections of the body of the proposal, then you want to present it as a range so they can get optimistic. Now, how can you find a range? Well, there's a lot of techniques, but here's a couple ways. One is the success matrix that I discussed in a previous bullet points. Now, this is based on proprietary research. What it shows was that people really value being given specifics. The success matrix is especially useful when clients make, let's call them unreasonable requests in the RFP.
That was a gross understatement.
For instance, if the client wants a project done in 2 weeks using only 2 people, you can use the success matrix to show them how likely different combinations are to meet their goals. This gives them the power and the responsibility of deciding for themselves how risky they want to be. What trade-offs do they want to make? You're simply saying, here's the facts. We'll do whatever you want. When you do this, my research showed that clients' opinions of you increases by about 27%. And more importantly, they're about 50% more likely to choose you over a competitor who doesn't give them the options. It can also be used as a way of projecting results, even in the face of some uncertainty. Whatever the makeup of your kickoff team, even if it's just a couple of you or you're all alone, you have the experience and the expertise to make conservative but reasonable projections of how much benefit this client will likely get. The other way is to simply identify, for example, 5 current clients who are most like this prospective client. And then you simply tell this prospect exactly what you're basing your estimate on. Based on our current clients in your industry who are a similar size and target similar markets, or whatever it is for you, we estimate that you'll see increased yearly revenue of between $2.3 and $4.1 million. Or, based on 5 government clients who face the most similar issues, we estimate that you'll improve the number of records processed per day from your current 247 to between 356 and 487 per day. This is a decrease in wait time for your constituents of between 30 and 50%. You can even do this with a single current client as long as the client is really similar. Based on our experience with a current client who is extremely similar to you in key respects like A, B, and C, you'll achieve savings of approximately 11%. For you, that translates to $8.3 million in savings per year. How do you know if a current client is extremely similar to this prospect? Well, I recommend to my clients that they use what I call the New York Times test. If you wouldn't mind being quoted on the front page of the New York Times saying that these 2 clients are extremely similar,
Hey, keep it legitimate.
then you should feel comfortable saying it in your proposal. By the way, if you're wondering whether it's better to say, you'll improve the efficiency of your machine 1.6 percentage points, which is called an absolute percentage, for instance, from 13.1% to 14.7%, or whether it's better to say, you'll improve the efficiency of your machine 12%, which is called a relative percentage, always go with the second version, the relative version. They've done a lot of research on what kind of percentages people understand and find persuasive in the medical field, because it's so important there to be clear, because you want patients to comply, you want patients to make the right choice. What they've found over and over is that the second version is perceived more favorably and is judged as being bigger and more persuasive.
Sounds good to me.
Do you like the video format? Please let me know. Also, would you like a cheat sheet to know what you should prioritize in terms of improving proposal operations next year? Let's put the wisdom of crowds to work. I have a very short 15-question survey. The link is down below. Please take it before you forget. It's not going to take you more than a minute or 2. I will gather the results of that and share them with everyone in the next bullet points. I'll also give you my own take based on the empirical testing I've done on what has the biggest effects on increasing persuasiveness. The result will be sort of a cheat sheet for you, just for you to use on what you should focus on first, second, third, in terms of improving your own proposal operations and what's going to give you the biggest return on your investment. That's just a free thing. I'm not getting anything out of it except helping you guys, which I love to do. That's it for now. Thank you so very much for joining me. Please do take a moment to fill out that survey, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.